What's up, nerds? We just ordered a whole bunch of micro baits from Bait Finesse Empire. If you guys haven't heard of that site before, they sell all sorts of specialty ultralight gear, most developed for the purpose of being fished on BFS gear, or your Bait Finesse system. So this is your ultralight casting setup. Now, I know you're ready. You're gonna jump on me in the comments. You'll be like, nobody needs BFS, just use a spinning setup. We're not here to argue that. I have no argument against that. I say, go the route you want to go. We've always said BFS is just a ton of fun. Does it have some hyper-specific usability? Sure. That's not really what our conversation is about. It's just a different technique, different style of fishing, something that comes from, overseas. And what we do here at the Aggressively Average Anglers is we try to experience every facet, every niche of the fishing industry, because that's what's fun to us. So if it is something you're interested in, awesome. If it's not, awesome. That's what this community is all about. So if you love it or hate it, doesn't matter. Feel free to enjoy these ultralight baits, and you can throw any of these on a spinning setup, guaranteed. So there you go. Still check out Bait Finesse Empire, even if you are stuck on spinning versus BFS setup, right? All love from us here at the channel. So without further ado, I want to show you some of these baits. Again, most of these are like JDM. There are some like ZMan things kind of mixed in here, Euro tackle, but most of this stuff is like straight up Finesse Japan stuff. First up off the top, we really wanted an ultralight frog because gosh dang it, doesn't that sound fun? Now, this is a situation where maybe, because it is Finesse and yet still has a heavy gauge double hook, that you might want to have an extra spool spooled up with some higher pound test line. Generally like 8 to 10 pound test you could get away with. You're going to want to go straight braid on this, no fluorocarbon leader or mono leader or any of that. So right now we have spooled up some 8 pound test braid with 4 pound test mono. This is not going to work on that. As it sits, I might cut the leader off and try it. Hopefully we won't lose this frog because it's a $7.50 frog for this little tiny doohickey right here. So I don't know, we'll see. Otherwise, you can always use a different setup. We do like our Hakai reels from Akuma. They're pretty good at casting light finesse stuff. This thing comes in at, I believe, around a 1/4 ounce. It doesn't say on the packaging, so forgive me if I forgot that. And it comes from this company called Papinka Lure, if you can even read that. Very tiny, tiny font on this thing. From Indonesia. So not Japan, but Indonesia. And these things are freaking cool. To me, it reminds me of a tiny scum frog. Look at that. Big eyes on it. A little flat section here so I could see it doing some walking. Interesting little tie-in point. Look at that. It's going to sit upright really well. It does have a fully open plug setup, which is interesting. I'm assuming just based on the size of it that we're okay. We're still going to be pretty floaty. And I'm digging the yellow and black there. Purely yellow belly, of course. And then the chartreuse and orange highlights in this. This is a really cool looking frog, and I'm excited to put it on the water. Put it to the test. That was on the Bait Finesse Empire site. There's a couple other frogs on there. A lot of them had poor reviews, and they basically stated they just sank in a cup of water, for example. Not what you want a frog to do. That said, this one had the best reviews, so obviously we're gonna go out and fish all this stuff. Next up, we picked up some wire baits. So I wanted an ultralight spinnerbait, and there's lots of 1/4 ounce spinnerbaits that you can get out there. Strike King notably makes a bunch, Booyah makes a bunch, usually with a single Colorado blade. These have that as well, but these also come in at 1/8 of an ounce. So these come from Jig Masters. Now, Jig Masters are made in the US, which is cool. And this is a pretty simple spinnerbait, simple little wire spinnerbait. We got it in 2 different colors, whitetail, chartreuse, but you'll notice, obviously, it's not a silicone skirt. So with these, we've got, I don't know if this is marabou or what this is, but I need to know. Obviously, I got the chartreuse one. You guys know how it is. Oh yeah, that's boo, for sure, with a little streamer material in here. Oof. So you've got a very small wire set up there. I like the bend to it. That's pretty nice. Using that ultralight line, I don't really want my line sliding up or down, so this somewhat helps with that. You might even have to tie this, and I don't know. We're gonna see. We'll just put it to the test. A nice elongated, that's right, I said it, Colorado blade. Almost, I guess, what would you call that? Like an Indiana blade or whatever? Almost. Still very smooth, rounded like a Colorado. And then we've got the boo hair. Look at this. So that's going to act really natural in the water. That's going to look good. You've got this sort of brush cover flat-sided jig head, so that should get through the cover pretty well. And then notice the accent. So this is heavily tied right here with, yeah, I mean, it looks heckin' good. You can almost, can I get you guys, see that flash there? That's that streamer material. It's a little bit of flash. Boo flash. Just realized you didn't even have to tear the top off this thing, but whatever. This is, I believe Paul's, I can't remember which one we both got. I'm pretty sure I got chartreuse because that sounds like me. But same idea, silver accents, purple accent for the tying, and then the streamer material on this is purple. Love that with that white boo on there. Pretty juice. I'm digging it so far. Those spinners come in at about $5.49 a piece, fairly close to like what you're gonna pay for the Strike King or the Booyah micro spinners. But they come in at 1/8 of an ounce, which I'm really digging. This next one is, you know, straight JDM. This one's really weird. I'm just gonna warn you ahead of time. It is a green pumpkin splatter type color. Weight is 3 grams. Again, whatever that comes out to. I know it's ultralight. It's basically a blade bait, an ultralight blade bait, straight out of Japan. Single hooks, no trebles. Check this out. Look at that little dude. And apparently it glows. Oh, actually glows really well. Let me see if I can charge this up real quick and we'll do a quick no light situation here. Hang on. Calm down. Everybody chill. Check it out. That's how much it glows. Oh my gosh, that thing's crazy. All right, enough of that science experiment. Ah! So there we go. Check this out. Really cool little bait. Got a little baby snap clip up there. If you can even see that, you can see these wide gap singular hooks, no trebles, right? Loving that. Pretty light wire as well. And no real rattle, but just a little bit of weight to it. Dude, it's cool. Very simplistic looking bait, but I can tell that it's gonna do work. And again, you could throw this on spinning gear as well. So just throwing out some ultralight gear, that's really cool. We did get a pretty dope sticker. Big fan of that sticky there. It's going on the boat. All right, one more wire bait. The rest of this tackle is from Euro Tackle. Now, if you guys haven't purchased anything from Euro Tackle before, I'll say this. They've got some cool creative plastics. I'm not as big a fan of them because bluegill tend to tear them apart on me. Crappie, bluegill, whatever fish species you're going after, definitely if the bass get a hold of it. I like plastic of a more durable nature. These guys right here. So basically if I'm fishing ultralight plastics, it's gonna be mule, BFS. It might be some of the Neds that we pour. It could be some ZMan Neds, and then it's gonna be some mule fishing, maybe some Nico baits. Like that's my go-to. However, Euro Tackle hard baits, something I'm very interested in. So that's what we're gonna be looking at in a second. This is something I've called out a whole bunch of times. It's the first BFS, like true BFS bait that I've ever thrown, and love it to death. It's the ZMan Mini Flashback. So this comes in 2 different weights, 1/16 and 1/8 of an ounce. These two right here are coming in at the 1/16, sort of our goal weight that we were looking for. We want to be casting around that 1/16. Very easy to do on a BFS setup if you're dialed in. So we've got 2 colors here, one in a gold blade. Essentially, these plastics don't matter. The plastics ZMan includes with these are pretty much trash, but fish them till they die. They're fine to start, but they're not a Laztec. So just keep that in mind. So we have here a silver, if I can get it, and gold variation. Here's your gold, right? So you get the gold jig head, a little tiny chatterbait blade. Look at that, a little tiny gold blade on there. Finesse hook. They pre-rig one of the baits already, even though they didn't do a great job of it, that's fine. And again, this is not a stretchy, durable Elastec material. It does have a little flash material in there, as you can see. So it does, you know, put off a little holographic display, if you will, which is, it's good, it's cool, it's fine. They're fine. They come rigged, just fish them out of the box. You'll catch fish on them, you'll be fine. But as soon as it breaks, there's tons of ultralight plastics that work better on these. I personally prefer a donkey tail. I also love to throw on here some of the new ZMan microplastics. You can put a TRD in here. You can put a little blade turd spin, TRD spins off the back of that. There's a million different things that you could do with this. And here is the silver variation. As you can see, I mean, it's the proprietary chatter blade that you get with ZMan chatter baits. They work really well. It's just in a nice little compact package. And you do get two plastics with those, one with a curly tail, one with a straight tail. Now for stuff I'm very excited about. That stuff was great, frog especially. This stuff is banging. So, start out with some top water. Right off the top, we got the ZPoppers from Euro Tackle. Two different colors here. Purple chartreuse, of course, why wouldn't we? And then what's called black glow. So we've got black bodied, which I love for top water, that one's mine, with a chartreusey glow as well. Pretty cool bait. Obviously could be a great night bait. Also great day bait. I mean, anything black top water is gonna do really well, especially in like stained water. All right, so there's purple chartreuse. Look at that thing. Itty bitty little bait. So itty bitty little guys. Here's that black glow. Here's that purple chartreuse. Gorgeous little doohickeys. Tiniest split ring I've seen. Long time. Appropriately sized and tiny trebles on these bad boys as well. Got a little rattle to it. These are really cool. Speaking of really cool, let's go from top water to a suspending mid-water column depth here. We've got some suspending micro jerk baits. Of course, we got the bluegill. Euro Tackle's got a really nice bluegill color. It's something that I would pick up multiple baits in that pattern for, especially up here, Michigan, Midwest. You guys, you're gonna catch on bluegill patterns for sure, especially right now. So again, super tiny little bait here. Itty bitty jerk bait. That's crazy. We did get one in this like translucent white. Really cool. I think that one's for Paul. And then the bluegill pattern, of course, as well. These things are gonna do really well. You got a split ring up on that lip. So you're gonna get really good action out of these. They are both suspending models. Both have a little rattle to them. Gosh dang, check that out. That's so cool. Just stuff you can't get away with using this on like your normal traditional gear unless it's a spinning setup, as I've said. And you could have a ton of fun on micro baits on spinning setups. I've done it in the past before I knew BFS existed. So I know it works and I know it's a lot of fun. There you go. Those two options right there. Really cool. And then finally, we get to these two crankbaits. So this one is called the Z Cranker. You know, this get really creative with their names. The Z Spender, the ZPopper. Yeah, sometimes, yeah, you don't have to go crazy with it, right? All right, so we got another UV bait with one of these, which is like a green pumpkin white. And that white part, I guess, is black light charged. So time for another science experiment. Oh my gosh, with your packaging though. All right, so two little tiny crankbaits. Now, I've got a couple of Lucky Craft micro cranks that have been great. Caught a lot of fish on them. And I got a chance to fish them on the BFS setup, the new BFS setup last weekend. That was a ton of fun. But these I'm really stoked for. Look at that. You even got a painted lip on this one. Look at that top, that splatter back. That's so cool. And then of course, old man Paul goes for the craw pattern. Never mess with the OGs, man. This of course will get it done. You've got the orange there, kind of a gorgeous little craw pattern here. Orange belly, translucent top. This thing is killer. Let's see what this UV charges up like. Okay, it's not a glow, obviously. Can I do anything for you guys on this? It's really cool. I wish I could show you. It puts off a really cool color. Maybe there's a video online that Euro Tackle has that'll show you this. It almost gives you like that orange. There's like an orange or a pink hue to like all the definition lines. And there's just no way that I can show you guys on camera. It's like physically impossible. Unless this was on like a super high res setup and I did it in like a little UV chamber or something. You can almost see it. You can almost pull that off. It gives it like these really cool highlights. I like that. I dig that a lot. Whew, it's a lot of ultralight. Tons of different baits there that you got options to fish either on spinning gear or BFS gear. We're obviously going to be trying it on the BFS. That's our intention. We want to get good at that BFS and get experienced with it too. Tons of fun, really cool website, Bait Finesse Empire. They've got tons of rods, reels, all sorts of stuff. Stock not so great. They tend to run out of stock of everything. So hopefully they're able to improve that in the future. I don't know, I'm sure inventory is really hard to come by right now. So I know it's not their fault specifically. It would just be cool if some of these other baits we saw that were really neat looking, we could have picked up. We just couldn't because stock. Right. While we're here, I went to our local tackle stores called Knutson's. If you guys are in the Jackson, Michigan area, you should definitely go check this place out. Support local when you can. And they're a treasure trove. They've got all sorts of cool stuff. I picked up some randoms and I'll just share them with you as kind of a bonus piece on the end of this video. So check this out. Going along with BFS, I thought this would be great. We picked up the newer-ish, the Big Bite Baits Kamikaze Swim On in a 2.5 inch. 2.5. This is for that little mini flashback, right? So for the ZMan chatterbait, and really, I mean, it could go open hook, lots of different options, as well as this thing that I picked up. So we've got the Mini Max. So the Mini Max, obviously not the micro chatterbait. This is a 3/8 of an ounce, a little bit bigger, but you can slap that baby on there as a trailer. Not a contrasting color, pairs up perfectly with these existing colors. It just pops really well in our waters and it's something I know I'll catch on. The Mini Max, if you guys have not fished it before, is a fantastic chatterbait. Slightly downsized, not ultralight though. Again, 3/8 of an ounce. You can get it in a 1/4 ounce if you want, up to a 1/2 ounce though. So pretty wide range of weights on this thing. It is tied with a wire, which holds up okay. Now I have one, you know, over on my fly stand over here that's got to get retied in white and chartreuse. So I do have to get a new skirt for that one. But that said, it holds up really well. It's got more premium components, closer to like a jackhammer. So it is sort of a cross between like your chatterbait mini and a jackhammer meets chatterbait Mini Max. That's what you're looking at right there. Pretty great. Wish this was actually like hand tied, not wire tied. The wires, at some point, they tend to just give out. That's the issue that I've had with them, at least personally. Still, really cool bait. Love it. Kamikaze Swim On, look at that. It's like a perfect trailer for this. So this, really, the intention was for that Flashback Mini. Couple other quick dealios. I got a 1/16 ounce weighted wacky hook, something I thought, you know, I could throw this on a BFS setup with like a Yum Dinger or just like a little 3 to 4 inch Senko, stick bait, what have you. Could be a good option. Also just spinning setup, regular setups. Something I wanted to have in the arsenal going into summer. And then I got a couple other plastics. So found these I've never fished before. These are Bobby Garland's and they are the Slab Hunter Minnows. Comes in a very tightly concealed, neat little clamshell, so appreciation shown there. And really cool little tail, unique little design to that tail. I'm digging it. Chartreuse and blue. Yes, 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 please and thank you. Love it. And then I'm a big fan of these. I just picked them up in Pro Blue from Tackle Warehouse on a recent order that you guys have seen. And I had to pick them up in my second favorite color of all time for paddle tails, which is that like white ice. Look at that. So Yamamoto Zako paddle tail. Neat little paddle tail, segmented, tons of action to it, easy rigging, holds up pretty well, not super hyper durable as Yamamoto's really aren't known for that. They're known for a lot of action and just being a fish catching machine. So love that, excited to fish them. Then I found these. Never seen these before, I'm sure other people know about them, but we got these Strike King Super Finesse worms. Look at how finessey it is. Of course it's in copper truce because it is a ZMan Elastec material. Look at that. So you got that chartreuse and green belly, green pumpkin copper flake, Elastec, and it is, dude, just a neat little finesse worm. I'm gonna power shot this. So go to my regular spinning setup, not ultralight, not BFS. I'm throwing this on my regular spinning setup, my medium light, maybe even, yeah, probably my medium light. I think I can get away with it. And we're gonna rig that on a slightly heavier drop shot weight. You get freaking 15 in this package, so awesome. I'm in, sold. There you go, so a little bonus stuff I picked up from a local tackle shop. If you guys aren't shopping local, make sure you do whenever you can. And they didn't have any BFS at the local shop, so that's why I didn't pick any stuff up there. But Bait Finesse Empire, if you get the chance, go to the website, check it out. There's reasonable prices on there. If you want to pick some up, do it. There's really cool stuff that you guys can find there. Or if a local shop sells Euro tackle, for example, then you can get these ultralight cranks in that area. I just wanted to try some different unique stuff in addition to Euro Tackle, which is just a more massive brand as it pertains to ultralight and BFS. What did you guys think about the unboxing here? What did you think about the baits or these things that you would consider picking up and fishing? And again, we're not here to argue BFS versus spinning outfits. Do what you want. Do what works for you. If it's fun, if you got the expendable income though, check out BFS. We think it's pretty neat. Maybe you will too. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys, and we'll catch you on the next video.